President Obasanjo is a man that has occupied the seat of the president for 11 years. Nobody had done that before, cumulatively, I mean, and probably nobody may do that again forever. So, arguably, he's one of the most powerful political figures in Nigeria. For him to make such a statement when he is above 80 years, you can see that it came with a lot of introspection. Because at that age, according to J. Clark, or Edwin Clark, the nonagenarian, he said at that age you have gotten your boarding pass. So there is really nothing that you are looking forward to when you are a statesman except the beauty, the progress of your country. And we can see the beauty of Obasanjo's endorsement on his reasons for the endorsement, which he espoused in the acronym TVCP, track record of ability and performance, looking at the past, antecedent, then vision that is authentic, reliable, and visionary, looking at the future, then character and abilities of a child of God and obedience to God, looking at integrity, and then physical and mental capabilities with soundness of mind, looking at your physical energy and mental alertness required for the office of the presidency. He considered all these, and obviously and apparently Atiku and Tinubu do not fit into these four factors, if you must be honest, because all of them are octogenarians, lacking in physical energy and mental alertness. And that is why, after seeing Tinubu sharing questions and Atiku shifting questions and Obi answering questions, he narrowed it down to the fact that Obi should be the preferred candidate for the benefit of Nigerians, for the future generation. And Obi has actually espoused that hope. If you read his New Year message to Nigerians, he said, Daddy and I will create a new Nigeria that will ensure the prosperity, the peace, the unity of this country, trusting by the grace of God in their character, competence, and capacity to deliver a Nigeria that will empower the youths, the young ones in education, that will transfer Nigeria and transform Nigeria from consumption to production by running a production-centered economy through and driven by agrarian revolution and export-oriented industrialization, leapfrogging Nigeria into the fourth industrial revolution by applying scientific and technological innovations to create a digital economy. These men, as you can see, one person amongst them, the vice president, owning 2 universities, one in Kanu, here in Abuja, based university. And you can see an Obi from young age exhibiting entrepreneurial qualities, vocational skills that made him a man who lost his father at the age of 9 to become one of the greatest billionaires at a very tender age. They are bringing all these things to bear to create a new Nigeria. And that is what Obasanjo saw when he endorsed Peter Obi as a gift from God to Nigerians. And I enjoin every Nigerian in the spirit of a new year to bring in a new Nigeria, which is possible with Peter Obi
as president in 2023 February.
I want to look at it that he has already emerged. You know why? Because it's the youths that he just called about that actually gave birth to the obedient movement. Every slogan we use in Labour Party was given to us by the youths. We are obedience was not a creation of Peter Obi and that Baba Ahmed. It is a creation of the Nigerian youths. This is the first time Nigerian youths are having a hope of a better Nigeria. We don't give shishi. It was not by Peter Obi or Dati Baba Ahmed. It is by the Nigerian youths who said, in this journey we have seen that selling our birthright will not give us the Nigeria of our dream. We will no longer sell our votes. We don't need money from any politician. We need hope. We need a new Nigeria, free of corruption, free of poverty, free of insecurity, free of bad leadership. The youths. And so the youths are the real engine room for the obedient movement. That's why I said he has already won. And if you check Obasanjo's letter, he specifically called on the youths and reminded them that it is their future that is at stake. I mean, how can a man who has been in politics since 1992, how can men who have been in politics since 1992 till date, more than 3 decades, and they have not changed the system, and the system is moving to the worst, to the point that we are moving into abyss. Whatever you may want to talk about Buhari's government, Atiku and Tinubu, we are unified in bringing Buhari to power. This is why that generation needs to go. We need a clean break. Peter Obi is really a symbol of a new Nigeria, where the power will go back to the people and not the individual. Remember what Obasanjo said. He said, this is not the time of a Milokon. It is the time of our Lokon, Benny. Our Lokon is actually the definition of democracy by Abraham Lincoln. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. It is not government of the individual, by the individual, for the individual. This is Tinubu's definition of democracy. But that is Bullion Van instigated democracy with which he captured Lagos. He wants to capture Nigeria and we are saying no to it. This is Atiku's own definition of democracy. Who said it is the turn of the Southeast to produce president, but goes to the North to say Northerners should vote only the North, not Yoruba candidate, not Igbo candidate. So both of them are actually Emilokons. But we are talking about our Lokon, which is the government of the Nigerian people. 2023 is the turn of Nigerians. It is your turn. It is our turn. That is why Peter Obi is the only candidate that said, don't vote for me because I'm Igbo. Vote for me because I'm a man of competence, character, and capacity. It is not the turn of anybody in 2023. It is the turn of Nigerians. This is what Obasanjo saw and re-echoed in his letter and made it clear that Nigeria with Peter Obi will set a standard that has never been set before and for which Nigeria will never go back from. When Obi sets Nigeria on a trajectory of prosperity, we can only move in that trajectory. We will not go back. Because Nigerians have this natural tendency to key in into something without looking back. My advice to Nigerians is that recognizing that no man is a saint or an angel or a messiah, as aptly put by Obasanjo, they should recognize that the words of the elders are words of wisdom. They should recognize that a great-grandfather has no business deceiving them at this stage. They should get their PVC. They should vote. They should defend their vote from the people like Tinubu that has told his supporters openly that power is not served a la carte. Power is not served in a restaurant during breakfast. You fight for it at all costs. You grab it. You snatch it. You run away with it. Nigerian youths should not allow people like that to grab their power, to snatch their power, and then dangerously to run away with it. So they must vote, they must defend their vote, and they must ensure that the mandate they will give to Peter Obi in 2023 will not be stolen by these thieves that have shared Nigerian money ingloriously, and they are now sharing questions because they cannot even answer questions anymore.